Big changes could be on the horizon in Morton County, plus the cool job of trying not to break the ice. But first, a political Tuesday turnover last night in elections across the country isn't slowing down Republicans from their efforts to overhaul the tax code.
This is West Dakota Fox News at 9 with Molly Martinez and meteorologist Henry Blakes. Your first news of the night starts right now on West Dakota Fox News at 9.
Good evening, I'm Molly Martinez. After less than an ideal night at the polls for Republicans, today GOP leaders are returning their focus to taxes. But Congressional Budget Office says the proposed plan comes with a $1.7 trillion price tag. Reporter Lauren Blanchard has more from Washington.
What is happening in these rooms, not as tax reform, not as tax cuts, but a tax scam.
When Ways and Means finishes preparing its tax bill, the Senate is expected to unveil its own version, potentially as soon as tomorrow. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
North Dakota Representative Kevin Kramer spoke about the tax reform plan today. He says he's backing the House version of the plan because so many in our state use the standard deduction.
You're going to see a tax bill that is so favorable to the middle class, lower income, and to business and job creation that it becomes very difficult for many Democrats to vote against it, whether they feel like they had a say in it or not.
House Democrats are already drafting their response to the bill, which they say will be a deep detriment to our national deficit. Kramer hopes the tax plan will reach a vote before Thanksgiving. And the tax plan was a big selling point on the Trump campaign trail. Another one, the promise to bolster the oil industry. It earned the president a lot of votes here in North Dakota. Now, exactly 1 year later, how has the industry exactly been impacted? Well, the Bakken has seen a boost in activity, but oil prices are not as high as anticipated. When Trump was elected, oil prices were around $45 a barrel. Within the last couple of weeks, they've been hovering around $55 a barrel.
Hope to see that oil price trend upward, continue to trend upward for a healthier industry. I think that helps the state of North Dakota, helps the economy, and also helps drive more capital into the Bakken, which is ultimately what we're going to need here to grow activity.
Ness says looking forward to 2018, activity should remain stable unless oil prices increase drastically. Time now to take our first check on weather with meteorologist Henry Blakes.
Warm up coming later on.
Thank you very much, Henry. According to the CDC, over 50 million Americans are living with a disability. Depending on the extent of the disability, everyday tasks can be difficult. And things like going to college or even getting a job can be even harder. Megan Hoffman is here to explain how the North Dakota Department of Public Instruction is working to make those opportunities easier. Thank you, Megan. Well, changes could soon be coming to Morton County and Mandan. In rural Morton County, officials want to slow down development, limiting new housing to 4 homes per 40 acres. The idea is to keep new residential developments in urban areas. We asked county officials where exactly that would be.
The portions of the county where we would like to encourage development primarily runs along the state highway 25, 1806 and County Road 140 near Harmon Lake.
For more information about the plan, we have a link on our website, yournewsleader.com. Well, imagine having an emergency and when you call 911, no one picks up. The Burleigh County Sheriff's Department is working to make sure that doesn't happen. And to bring on new recruits, they're getting creative. Daniela Hurtado reports.
Did you ever want to be a law enforcement officer growing up? Well, this new recruitment video might make you want to consider life with a badge.
To help us hopefully entice some young men and women to join this profession. But I think also it's a neat thing for the community because a lot of times the community doesn't see where their taxpayer money is being spent.
No worries though, this video is fully funded by a production team in town and not from taxpayer dollars.
CAT Communications actually put together a program called We Support the Badge, and they funded or put out fundraising efforts through the community, through local businesses, partnerships, that kind of stuff.
The recruitment video will be used as a tool to scout potential deputies moving forward. For West Dakota Fox News at 9, I'm Daniela Hurtado.
A man and woman from Mandan are facing felony charges after officers found drug paraphernalia and a stolen gun in their vehicle. It happened last night. 37-year-old Amber Eichhold and 32-year-old Tyrone Shioma were arrested. They were in the car that appeared to match the description from a burglary case. A police dog found heroin residue, needles, and a stolen pistol. Well, North Dakota public school students are offered elective classes on Native American culture, but soon those classes could be a requirement. In the course, the students study civics such as treaties, policy, and government. It also includes storytelling and values of Native American people. The goal is to break stereotypes of Indian culture through education. And a warning tonight from the State Game and Fish Department. Hunters need to be wary of thin ice. The water is already frozen over with a few inches thick in some parts of the state, but officials say it cracks easily and hunters should avoid crossing it. The warning comes ahead of the gun deer hunting season, which opens on Friday. Speaking of ice, in a town like Bismarck, there's plenty of it, but maintaining ice at a rink has proven to be somewhat of a challenge. Last year, leaks were noticed in the system that maintains the rink. During the off-season, a new cooling plant was installed. They're still working out some kinks, but officials think that it will last for years to come. Well, traveling to Cuba is about to get a lot harder. Today, the Trump administration announced tight new restrictions on both travel and trade to the island nation. According to the White House, the new rules are intended to steer economic activity away from Cuba and encourage the government to move forward with greater economic freedom. The move is a direct undoing of President Obama's efforts to normalize relations with the island. Well, cameras in Connecticut were rolling during a brazen carjacking in broad daylight. A woman was filling up her tank at this Shell gas station when a suspect jumped in the driver's seat and took off. The woman tries desperately to stop the thief and is dragged about 15 feet across the asphalt. She struggles to hang on, but eventually is tossed away. Adrenaline pumping, she jumps up and runs for help. Police now have a warning for drivers.
Leaving your car running is not recommended at all at any time, and leaving your car unlocked is not recommended. We've had many unlocked vehicles get burglarized.
Windsor Locks police say the woman escaped without any major injuries. That suspect is still at large. There's a new lottery game coming to the state. It's called Lotto America, and it rolls out on Sunday. The first drawing will be 1 week from tonight. It replaces Hot Lotto, which was phased out since Hot Lotto never doled out a jackpot. Those winnings rolled over to this new game. That means next week's grand prize will be for $15 million. I don't know, Henry, are you feeling lucky?
Not really, because if I was lucky, it would be 80 degrees right now, but that's not the case. In fact, temperatures are below normal.
A multi-million-dollar bug hiding in one of the world's most famous paintings. A curator at the Nelson Atkins Museum in Kansas City found a grasshopper trapped inside Van Gogh's Olive Trees painting. The insect went unnoticed for 128 years, but was recently discovered by a worker at the museum who was examining the painting with a microscope. Museum officials say Van Gogh liked to paint outdoors, and the bug likely hopped onto his palette. And over in Venice, unusual weather is leaving the city known for its waterways completely waterlogged. This is Venice, Italy. Reports say water levels in the historic city are rising to the highest level in 4 years. High levels of water are said to be a result of strong tides caused by a winter wind called the Bora. Changes in the water levels are common throughout the year, but usually not this extreme. Let's take a final check on weather with meteorologist Henry Blakes.